Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cleon Fraser, and today I'm presenting on the initiative and the referendum of the state of Arizona. Arizona's political identity is characterized by a strong emphasis on direct democracy, as envisioned by its founder when the state was established in 1912. Concerned about the influence of power, special interests, they incorporated mechanisms that empower citizens to directly participate in the lawmaking process. This is achieved mainly through two tools: the initiative, which allows citizens to propose new laws, and the referendum, which enables them to vote on existing legislations. This mechanism ensures that the voice of Arizonians remains central of governance. Let us define our terms. In the context of American direct democracy, initiatives and referendums are two primary mechanisms that allows citizens to participate directly in the lawmaking process. While they are often grouped together, they function in opposite directions. One creates new law, while the other reviews existing laws. According to the National Center of State Legislatures, the initiative is defined, quote, a process that enables citizens to bypass the state legislature by placing proposed statutes and, in some states, constitutional amendment on the ballot, unquote. The bottoms-up tool positions citizens in a leadership role, empowering them to take initiative in lawmaking process. The Ballotpedia Legal Encyclopedia also defines a popular referendum as, quote, a device which allows voters to approve or repel an act of the legislature. A referendum functions as a reactive power, serving as a form of public veto on legislations that have already been passed by the government. It grants citizens the ability to approve or reject a law, thus providing a check on legislative authorities. In summary, initiative serves to create law, while referendums are designed to view and provide oversights on existing law. I'm going to also explain to you how initiatives and referendums are created. There are steps creating initiatives. First, we have an application process. Then we have to gather signatures, have those signatures verified, and then a decision is made. All right? It's a very rigorous process for initiative. While the application must be filed with the secretary, and then to gather the specific number of signatures, as I mentioned, we need a signature up to 10% of the voters cast in the last election. For a constitutional amendment, it's 15%. Referendum. In order to create a referendum, we have to gather signatures as well, have them verified, and the decision is made then. Referendum is triggered in two ways. Either the legislatures or the voters themselves or citizens themselves gather signatures equal up to 5% of the last registration process within the last 90 days of a legislature adjournment. If enough signatures are verified, the issue goes to the voter. I'm going to also have a diagram, a Venn diagram that shows a comparison between initiative and referendum. As you can see, the major difference is initiative creates law, referendums review law. But for both processes, signatures need to be collected and before votes can pass. Moving forward, I'll be discussing the pros and cons of each initiative. All right, the initiative pros. The primary argument of initiative is that it acts as a safety valve for democracy. If the legislature refuses to act on this issue that has a broad public support, the initiatives allow citizens to take the lead. It shows direct accountability, meaning that it forces elected officials to remain responsive. Knowing that the public can bypass them, encourage legislators to address controversial issues they might have otherwise ignored. It encourages civil engagement. What does this mean? When the process of gathering hundreds of thousands of signatures can increase political awareness and voters' turnout. It gives citizens a sense of permanent protection. The Voters Protection Act protects the legislatures. The legislatures cannot repel a voter's approved law and can only amend them. What are some of the cons of initiative? One major concern of the initiative is the influence of dark money. What does this mean? 350,000 or more signature has to be gathered. In this process, a whole lot of money has to be spent to get this done. All right? This high bar often allows wealthier out-of-state special interests to manipulate the process, overshadowing genuinely grassroots effort. Poor planning, lack of drafting, poor drafting and lack of compromise inherent in initiative, meaning any legal loopholes or errors in the originally text cannot be resolved once on the ballot, leading to potentially flawed legislations. The concept of tyranny of majority. What is this? This is a risk that a simple majority could vote in infringe upon the right of minority group, as the absence of tampering influence of a representative system can lead to harsh or discriminatory law driven by raw public emotion. Length and the complexity of a ballot presents a challenge. In Arizona, where ballots are typically long, voters may experience ballot fatigue. When faced with 10 or 15 intricate legal propositions, voters might struggle to comprehend the issue, potentially leading to disengagement or negative votes based solely on the confusing language presented, rather than an informed decision. Referendum pros, this is the ultimate check and balance. The referendum is often hailed as the most direct way to ensure the legislature remains a servant of the people. The veto power, it provides citizens with a formal mechanism to say no to unpopular or controversial law. This ensures that the legislature cannot simply ignore the public once a session begins. The referendum also allows voters to focus on a single specific issue, such as a tax hike or a change in education funding, without the noise of a candidate's entire platform. Referendum campaigns also lead to intense public debate, which can educate the electorate on complex legal issues that might have slipped through the cracks during a busy legislative sessions. What are some of the cons of the referendum? Obstruction and complexity. Critics of the referendum process argue that it can be used in the necessary process or weaponize the ballot to steal government function. It can delay implementation. What does this mean? When a referendum petition is filed with enough signature, the law is questioned. Is suspended. It cannot go into effect until the voters decide at the next general election. Misuse of special interests, just like in initiatives, referendums can be funded by well-financed groups. This is often concerned that business use referendums as a delay tactic to kill competition or stop new regulation by forcing them to intensify ballot battles. Confused reverse logics. Voters are often confused by a yes-no option. On a referendum, a yes vote means I keep the law the legislature passed, while a no vote means I want to reject the law. This can lead to voters accidentally supporting something they opposed. Now, I'm going to explain how initiative and referendum support the idea of democracy as outlined in the Arizona Constitution. Arizona's commitment to direct democracy is absolute. According to Article 4, Part 1, Section 1 of the Constitution, explicitly states, and I quote, "The people reserve the power to propose law and amendments independently of the legislature," end quote. This evidence shows that Arizona doesn't just tolerate direct democracy, it demands it. By sharing the legislative authority with the people, the Constitution ensures that the government remains a servant of the electorate. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your time.